I never imagined I'd say this out loud, but here it is. My boyfriend Jake ended up following me to what I honestly believed was an innocent girls' night. I was 26, he was 28, and we had been together for nearly 2 years. Jake had always seemed like the trusting type, or at least I thought so. But that night shattered the image I had of us. It began like any ordinary Friday evening. My closest friends, Megan, Lisa, and Rachel, had arranged to get together at Megan's downtown apartment. We hadn't all spent time together in months, so everyone was buzzing with excitement. Megan's husband was away on a work trip, Lisa's husband was traveling for business, and Rachel, married for 5 years, always looked forward to these nights as her chance to unwind. That afternoon, I casually told Jake, "I'm going to Megan's for girls' night," expecting the usual smile and "have fun." Instead, he just went quiet, almost distant. He didn't ask for details, didn't even pretend to be curious, just a soft, "okay." I brushed it off, assuming he was simply worn out from work. The night started with wine, laughter, and familiar banter. We caught up on life, swapped stories, played music, and the conversation flowed easily. But as the evening wore on, something shifted. Megan's usual warmth began to feel flirtatious. Lisa laughed far too eagerly at every joke, and Rachel kept texting someone who definitely wasn't her husband. Looking back, the signs were obvious, but at the time, the mix of alcohol, old friendships, and nostalgia clouded my judgment. Then Megan locked the door and brought out a bottle of tequila. That's when the atmosphere changed completely. She leaned in and whispered, "Just us tonight, no husbands, no rules," her eyes sparkling with a wild edge. Lisa grinned, Rachel exchanged a knowing look with me that made my stomach sink. It hit me, this wasn't a simple night in. Something was happening, something unspoken and charged, something they had kept hidden behind years of polite smiles and picture-perfect marriages. And then, I saw him. A shadow outside the window, Jake. His eyes fixed on us, blazing with betrayal. My whole body froze. I couldn't speak, couldn't even breathe. My mind spun. How long had he been standing there? What had he seen? Was this the end? Megan caught my expression and smirked. "Relax," she said softly. "It's just us. Nobody needs to know." But I no longer felt safe. The trust one believed Jake and I had was splintering in real time, and the tequila only made the walls crumble faster. Megan edged closer to Lisa, their whispers laced with laughter. Rachel reached for my hand. Her touch was warm but unsettling. Every instinct screamed at me to leave, but I sat there, trapped in a moment I wanted no part of. Then the door burst open. Jake stepped in, his face twisted with hurt and fury. "What the hell is going on here?" His voice sliced through the room. Silence followed, heavy and suffocating. Megan, always quick with a quip, faltered. Lisa's face turned pale. Rachel avoided his eyes entirely. I wished I could disappear into the floor. "I thought this was just a girls' night," Jake said, his voice shaking. "But it doesn't look that way." I opened my mouth to explain, but the words tasted hollow. How could I make him understand that I hadn't planned this? How could I admit that my closest friends had crossed a line I never saw coming? Jake's expression softened slightly. "I followed you because I was worried," he said quietly. Something felt wrong. His voice cracked, not just with anger, but pain. He wasn't only hurt by me, he was hurt by the lies, the secrecy, and the fractures in what we'd built together. For a long moment, no one moved. Then Megan broke the stillness. "Jake, it's complicated. We're all adults, sometimes things just happen." Her words were like pouring salt into an open wound. Jake shook his head, stepping back toward the door. "No," he said firmly. "This isn't complicated. This is betrayal. And I don't know if I can trust you anymore." Then he was gone, the door slamming shut behind him. The sound echoed like a verdict. I sank to the floor, tears streaming down my face. The friends I thought I could rely on, the man I loved, everything was unraveling at once. The days that followed were a blur. Jake didn't call. He didn't text. Megan, Lisa, and Rachel acted as if nothing had happened, but I knew nothing would ever be the same. I replayed that night endlessly, searching for the moment when it all went wrong. Had I missed the warning signs? Or had I just refused to see them? A few days later, Jake finally answered one of my calls. "We need to talk," he he said, his tone calm but distant. We met at a small cafe, the tension hanging between us like fog. I tried to explain my confusion, my shock, and how betrayed I felt by my friends. He listened quietly, but his eyes stayed guarded. I don't know if I can get past this, he said at last. Trust isn't just broken, it's shattered. And it's not just about that night. It's about everything we've been hiding from each other. Tears burned my eyes. I never meant to hurt you, Jake. I thought I was going to have a simple, fun evening. But it turned into something I never wanted. He looked at me with a mix of sadness and frustration. I don't know who you are anymore. That single sentence cut deeper than anything else. After that, I cut ties with Megan, Lisa, and Rachel. I couldn't face their justifications or excuses. Jake and I kept talking, but the distance between us only grew. The warmth, the trust, it all slipped away like sand through my fingers. I came to a hard truth. The people you trust most can be the ones who hurt you the deepest. And sometimes, the love you think is unshakable is more fragile than you realize. The night Jake followed me didn't just change us, it changed me. I had to face the fact that the people around me weren't who I thought they were, and my relationship wasn't as solid as I believed. I don't know if forgiveness is possible for us. But I do know one thing, once trust is broken, it's a long road to get it back.